Hi guys, welcome to another planning video on how we teach our reading skills without using a curriculum. So this week we are focusing on plot structure. So plot is the story's roadmap. Every story you tell, every real life experience follows a sequence. It has a problem or a goal, steps to solve it, which is the rising action, the turning point, that's the climax, and the resolution or the lesson learned. So I'm going to go through some activities that you can use to teach this skill without having to use a curriculum. You can adapt it to anything. We like movies and TV shows. We're going to use storytelling and the book that she's reading this week. And we're going to use all of those things to be able to master this particular skill. You can use all of these activities, or you can use one or two activity throughout the week, and you're going to still have the same impact. So one of the activities we're going to do is called story steps. We're going to have 4 sheets of paper. I just took 4 sheets of paper and I wrote the beginning. I have the middle and the climax, the end, and we're going to put this on the floor. And as we retell a story or a family event, she's going to step on each page to show how the plot moved. It's physical movement is going to help her to remember the sequence, and it's going to make it fun, jumping between the different steps, moving backwards for review. So let your child be the director and tell you the steps that they want to narrate throughout the story. You can also do daily storytelling. Every evening, you can do it at the table. You can go through the problems and go through those same steps, the beginning, the middle, the climax, or the end of the story. Another thing we're going to be using throughout the week is our story sequence organizer. So this organizer is broken down by the beginning, what happens first, who are we meeting, the middle, the rising action, what problem appears, what is the character trying to do, the climax, which is the most exciting part, what is the biggest, most important movement, what is the biggest, most important moment, and the ending, which is the resolution. How does the story end? And is the problem actually solved? So we're going to use this throughout the week. We're going to use one for the Vanderbeeker's book because that's the story. We're going to use one for the Vanderbeeker's book. That's the story that she's reading. She chose it, so we build our lessons around the book that she chose, and then we're going to choose a movie or a TV show. It's very simple. You can teach this skill using any experience, any story, and you can adapt it as needed if you have several kids. So for younger and struggling readers, you can use drawings instead of words. For visual learners, you can add color coding to each section. For hands-on learning, you can cut out the boxes and rearrange them physically. For advanced learners, you can add more detail to the boxes under each section. So however you want to do it, you can use this and teach several kids at the same time at different levels. We also have guiding questions to help you throughout the way. What does the main character want or need? What problem do they face? How do they feel at the beginning, at the end? Who helps them solve the problem? You can do questions about events. What happens first, next, last? What part is the most exciting part? How does the character solve the problem? What changed from beginning to the end? And then some reflection questions. What did the character learn at the end? How is this story like something to us? So make it relatable. And what would you do differently? So you can use those questions. Those questions can go with text. You can do it while you're just watching something, if you're just having a conversation, and they're still learning the plot of the story, the beginning, the middle, the climax, and the end. How do you know if they actually mastered the skill? They can identify the beginning, middle, and the end of the story. They can explain the main problem and solution clearly. They can retell the stories in the correct order. They can recognize the most important event, which is the climax, and they connect the story to real life experience. Another thing that we do throughout our lessons is I always connect our writing for the week also connects to our reading skill. So this week we are writing on Follow Annie's Journey. We're watching the movie Annie, from searching for her parents to finding a family. And then, of course, the subject is the plot. So I also have a writing prompt to go with our reading skill for the week. It says, in the movie, Annie is a girl living in a foster home who hopes to find her parents who left her when she was a baby. As the story unfolds, As the story unfolds, Annie believes that she might finally have a chance to find him. How does Annie's search for her parents shape the events of the story from beginning to end? And then she has some prompts to show her. Then she has some criteria to make sure she's including everything she needs. How does the story begin when Annie believes about her parents? The problem Annie faces when the people pretend to be her parents, the important event that Annie realizes the truth, and how the story ends when Annie learns about her family. So our writing connects to this as well. If you want to teach your lessons like this, I have a writing guide that shows you how to create the prompts to go with your reading skill, as well as a reading guide that has all of the reading skills that you need to know. Is for grades 3 to 8 or ages 8 to 12, I believe. And you can use this to teach using anything. It can be a movie, it can be a conversation, it can be a book that you chose, anything at all. So that's how we're going to be teaching plot this week. If you have any questions, leave me a comment or send me a message.